Overshadowed by its neighbor to the north for tourism, and by the news for fear of danger, Guatemala is easily overlooked by travelers. We're hoping to uncover what many fail to see. It's a place of chaos and beauty, secret oases and towering volcanoes. And thanks to a stranger who would become a great friend, our 6 weeks of overland travel would become an insider's look into the nuances of culture, landscape, and amazing people. Come with us on this journey into our third country along the Pan American Highway. It's an adventure we'll never forget. With Mexico in our dusty rear-view mirror, we prepare to fall in love with another country. After the border guards practically hold our hands and gave us the warmest welcome so far, we high-five and enter our third country in the truck we built in 100 days.
To gallons and quetzals.
Quetzal.
Okay.
Of course. I'm so full already.
And Guatemalan?
So far we noticed similarities to southern Mexico. The notable difference of less speed bumps and more Toyotas. What we left behind in Mexico is a piece of our hearts that we'll soon be running back to retrieve. But for now, we are opening our chests to give a piece to Guatemala. Our first night would be on Lake Petanitza. As we arrive and drive over the bridge to the tiny island Isla de Flores to check out what all the tourists were doing, the sky opened up and greeted us in true Central American fashion.
Wow, it almost feels cold. Oh, and it's raining, yes!
The water poured out of the sky at such a rate that we were convinced the tiny island might disappear into the lake.
It's literally like I just jumped in a lake. I'm absolutely soaked, and it feels awesome. Driving.
As it turns out, our first water crossings in Central America would be on pavement.
Let's see what's up here.
Nice. Wow. Kind of insane.
Some things about living on the road
Aren't so glamorous. A whole salsa container decided it didn't want to be inside the container anymore. So this is our morning, taking out the entire fridge, which needs to be done more often than not. So everyone, take advantage, and sometimes, just spill something in the fridge. It'll force you to clean everything.
Clean the fridge.
Tips from the road.
Eat your salsa.
Finish the salsa.
So long, farewell, bye-bye. Let's have a toast for those lost old eyes. And my crooked little heart that seems so rebellious is falling apart right now. I'm bleeding, an easy kill, gonna leave it all behind.
I do. I need a support group for car enthusiasts in North America that can't get what they want, because every other continent in the world gets all the cool stuff, like patrols and Isuzus and the Hilux. That's only to name 3. Like, they've got trucks here.
Land Cruisers.
Oh man, just all the Land Cruisers. You just can't get the cool stuff in North America without an excessive amount of work. And you come anywhere else in the world and they've got all the stuff you ever wanted.
So everyone join Matthew's Facebook group called North America Sucks. And feel free to rant and rave with him.
A new country and countless new horizons. Guatemala is the land of volcanoes, beautiful lakes, rich Mayan culture, and yes, the best Toyotas. It should also be obvious now that we're entering the rainy season, but we're embracing it as it brings coolness freshness, and a sense of rejuvenation.
You have so much gunk on your lens again, sir.
We clean the car, and we clean our clothes. Actually, someone else cleans our clothes, which is the best part, because someone else does your laundry, and it's, what was that, 40 quetzal? So like, 8, what is that, 8 bucks Canadian?
Regardless, it's amazing.
Yeah,
and it makes our lives
and it's
a lot.
folded and smells nice.
Traveling around the back of the lake to find some more privacy and remoteness, we would also find something that you would have to pay hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in other parts of the world to see.
¿Dónde? Ah, ya. Ya. Perfecto. And 20 per persona? Sí. Perfecto.
Private palapas with crystal clear waters for the price of less than a sandwich. Doesn't even sound real when I'm saying it, does it? Oh, and yes, that was a wild monkey playing with the dogs on the property. But don't worry, there's more where that came from.
How do you guys like the nice peaceful sound of the EcoFlow charging? It's pretty sweet.
Honestly, we spend most hours of the day with Frizzcall, the little 12-volt fan, so this is just what we're used to.
Totally. It's like we have shore power with that thing. I love it. Today, Guatemala elects a new president, so we will see if there's any interesting ramifications between here and our next camp spot. Hopefully it's not like America.
It's been important for us to remember to write our own story and not everyone else's. Although we may not stop at every historic site we come upon, that doesn't mean we're not asking questions. History is beautiful, and it's a shame we don't learn more about it. But thankfully, traveling overland has a natural way of forcing you to listen. Being immersed into cultural norms on a daily basis will teach you infinitely more than a classroom. Intentional about how we spend our money on the road, but some experiences are too important to even think twice about. As we pay for our tickets and drive the final 10 kilometers to our camp, a heavy feeling enters the cab, like someone is welcoming us and letting us know we're safe. This isn't our land, but we're welcome to come and learn. Signs letting us know that jaguars may cross keep us company through the dark green hallway. When we arrive, we park under an impressive umbrella of a tree and fall asleep early in preparation for a start before the sun.
Welcome to Tikal National Park, perhaps the most stunning Mayan city.
Waking up this early before the sun feels sacred, like we're a part of something so much bigger. Feels like walking with purpose. Like there's a church somewhere in this Guatemalan jungle. Our coffee this morning was replaced by curiosity and adrenaline. We round the corner into the main plaza and catch the feeling that travelers long for. A feeling of lost and found wrapped into one ancient box. The feeling of not knowing, but wanting to know everything. The feeling of being so small in such an incredibly large, magnificent world. It's so important to feel this small on Earth, because that means that there is so much more still to explore, and that we don't know. This incredible place was built between 250 and 900 AD. At its pinnacle, almost 100,000 people lived here. There are over 3,000 known structures, and only 5% is open to visitation.
Oh my gosh.
The atmosphere here is enchanting. And thinking about the types of things that must have gone on in this city leads me to more questions than answers. Thank you, Tikal, for leaving such a beautiful mystery for us to continue to learn about.
¿Durmiendo? ¿Sí?
Una siesta.
Siesta.
Siesta. Wild crocodile. Campsite. Crocodile. Campsite. Luckily, he looks like he's only maybe 4 or 5 feet long, so he'd probably just get away with like a foot or an ankle, maybe. We're trying to figure out where to go in Belize. Because we're up in like this northern part of Guatemala, it would make a lot of sense to just pop into Belize from here.
One of those things, like, we're literally within eye reach of Belize right now, so it would be rude not to go.
Totally.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lines. This ain't where I belong.
It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Most can we?
I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since '99. What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along.
In a world of massive overconsumption, branding becomes even more important, and this branding spoke to me. Perhaps because it was in English and all the other ones were in Spanish, but this was also the most consumed. There was only one left on the shelf of this exclusive blend of Diesel Dorf. The one and only. Like, you put the one and only on the front and it's
gonna mean something. Sounds like this German guy 130 years ago came to Guatemala and found his passion for creating a coffee experience. And he's been using the same process on his farm ever since. I'm assuming he's passed it on and it's not 130 years old, but you never know. This could be the secret to eternal life.
What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along. I think it's time for me to go, burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost along the way, fell between the foam, pulling stitches. Time to let go.
Is it full?
It's very full. This coffee is delicious. It was worth the poetic prelude. It's very nice. Yes, you sweet puppy. Sí, bien perrito. Traveling overland, we are forced to adapt to changing environments, and even changing countries. Great adventures always come with a risk. We'll soon find out at what cost these choices are made, as we encounter the most unexpected extreme environments.
He just bailed.
Like a bicycle?
No, a motorcycle. Should go see if he's okay.
This part of the world is often feared by the mainstream news, and that fear can unknowingly populate into anyone's thoughts. We can either listen to the news and the naysayers, or go and find out for ourselves. We're facing our fears to gain perspective on the world and experience its treasures. We must be steadfast in the pursuit of what makes us feel most alive, or comfortability and the opinions of others may cloud our vision or shrink our dreams. The deja vu circling our cab from crossing this border only a week prior is accompanied by a feeling of welcome. It's like we're a part of something here. Like the smiles from strangers at their tiendas are teaching us something. The food we grab off the shelf and its proximity to origin, and the grand gestures nature so loudly shares. After discovering our windshield wipers are no match for Central American rainfall, we're on the hunt for camp. This camp host looks a little different than the others we've seen. That's a big chicken. What are you doing, sir?
It's honestly kind of scary.
How on earth did you get so big? Look at his feet. He's basically a dinosaur. Like, he's taller than me.
Do you think they're riding?
Maybe. Look at him, he's huge. Yep, that's an ostrich that will be joining us at camp. And now that makes 2 exotic animals that we've camped with in Guatemala. I wonder what will be next. When we're planning these big trips and grand expeditions, we fill our notebooks and maps with places that we want to see. Yet it's more rare that we can plan things that we can use to fill our hearts. So when a subscriber of ours, Juan Carlos, reached out to us, offering us a gift of an experience, it's easy for us to cancel all other plans. We've been reminded time and time again on this trip that human connection trumps almost anything that we can see with our eyes. From where we entered Guatemala from Belize, we needed to travel about 400 miles south to meet Juan and his family in Rio Dulce. At this point, we still had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. And that's the part that made this experience exciting.
That was a trip. It was deep.
The capabilities of our Chinook allow us to see past the end of the pavement, and more. Our drone allows us to see the world's beauty as we would from the perspective of a plane. There's a sense of freedom in both. Yet there's another feeling of freedom we've yet to tap into. The pure privilege of gliding across open water. Thanks to the generosity of these perfect strangers, we're about to transform from overlanders to overseers as we experience the landscape of Guatemala's largest lake that feeds directly into the Caribbean Sea.
This is a bit of a different vibe.
We're a boat tonight, everyone.
Yeah.
We thought we were a boat in Denver. Now we're really a boat.
All the overseers.
What?
We're overlanders, they're overseers.
Oh my gosh, everyone. He's here
All week.
all week. Toyota World Runners takes on
The ocean.
the ocean.
Yeah, freedom.
Well, now we have a guide because we have been driving circles around the boatyard.
Because we couldn't follow the signs for Parqueo.
Ah, yes.
You can't see it when you're going the other way.
Yes. Ah.
Saying yes and seeking discomfort can reap some pretty incredible rewards. Remember when I said it felt like we were a part of something? It is in moments like this where we feel wholeheartedly like we stand exactly where we're supposed to be. The palm tree wall greets us, and a dock scattered with hammocks is reaching out for our arrival. Once the boat finds its home for the evening, we find ours.
Tropical oasis?
A cabana with air conditioning is gifted to us by Juan and his family, and we are grateful beyond belief. We spend the evening opening too many bottles of wine and sharing different worlds. It feels like the beginning of a long-lasting friendship.
Yeah, your cookies and cream.
What we are looking at is there for us to appreciate. Who we are with is going to impact us in ways we could never imagine. As if the limits of generosity have been stripped away, we're back in the boat heading towards the Rio Dulce Canyon and the Caribbean Sea. It's a wild jungle out here, dotted with tiny remote homes accessed only by water.
After 2 steps, I lost my balance. And you know, that's when the colors started to change.
If you're enjoying this video and you'd like to see more, please consider subscribing if you aren't already.
I don't know what just happened. I really don't. I'm not sure. Mom, I'm sorry.
And it was somewhere then I started to feel covered in chaos. And it was somewhere then that look at me.
I cannot believe the kindness of the people that we meet.
Yeah. We feel so fortunate to be doing what we're doing because we wouldn't meet these incredible people if we weren't.
No, I mean, Juan and Sandra and their family is like, what an amazing family, and just like infinitely generous. Like, man, I'm so speechless.
Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't have got to experience any of that if it wasn't for them.
No. And like all the waterfalls in the world can't amount to human connection like that, where
No.
you get to just share stories and share different lives. And
Yeah, we really got to learn a lot about what it was like growing up in Guatemala and like the work life in Guatemala and the people, and I think that's really what you look for when you're doing a trip like this.
all right, off to the supermarket.
Yes, we are low on provisions. The marina camp definitely had all the amenities though.
Yeah,
We got to do our laundry and everything, which is sweet.
definitely rad and very safe. It felt, yeah.
Oh yeah, we left
We
the
left the
truck
truck
here
for
for 2 days, and that's pretty rare for us too.
Yeah, it was hard.
We drive in silence, as no words are needed after what we've just experienced. We follow the lake to our next camp. We wave at the countless coconut vendors and come to a halt at an ecological hotel. We're following an overlander's suggestion to ask if we can park here. The Chinook's mirrors and roof do a good landscaping of the property, and we're greeted with a smile. As the motor is silenced, band practice begins. A pair of jungle geese are absolutely nailing the baritones, chickens keep harmony, and the bugs are always a little out of tune with their maracas.
The big mama goose. And who's this? Look at this polka dotted thing.
Dude, what are you looking at? Are you okay? Well, that was a rad camp.
That was a really cool camp.
One of our goals for this leg of the Pan-American journey is to seek out experiences less traveled by tourists. And thanks to Juan's suggestions, we're positive we'll be picking our jaws off the floor more than once. The canyon of El Boquerón was the start of this off-the-beaten-path scavenger hunt, and it didn't disappoint.
So stunning. There's the little cave pockets.
If you enjoy watching TV, you'd probably enjoy driving through Mexico or Central America. With our music softly playing in the background, it acts as a soundtrack for the reality show we get to witness through our dirty front window. Whether it's the guessing game of what is being sold in the vendors, the animals of every sort either attempting to cross or just hanging out, your eyes will get lost in all the colors, and the weird occurrences will always keep you guessing. We love this TV show. We won't be changing the channel anytime soon.
You guys enjoying the water?
Oh my gosh, look at the rings on their nose. I've never seen
Bull rings?
bull rings like
Really?
this close to the person.
Grateful that our map is now filled with points of interest, our attention is now set on finding camp. A large majority of the Guatemalan landscape is agricultural farmland or protected forest, which makes finding wild camping more difficult than Mexico, for instance. This palm forest would have made a nice option until we found out it was a private ranch. So it was back on the highway for us as the sun started to dip behind the jungly foothills. While traveling down a very long dirt road through remote villages, we arrive at a closed gate in front of the camp we had planned. Realizing how far we had come and the time of day, we decide to try and camp in this small village. Friendly pass-by waves transitioned to uncomfortably long stares as we tried to ask some of the locals where we could camp. This usually wouldn't be an uncommon question, but we very quickly started to get the feeling travelers were not a common occurrence here. One confused and smiling man pointed to a field beside the river, so we opened the cattle gate and parked Sunday in the corner.
I've never seen this truck before. This must be from the 60s. It's a Nissan.
A vehicle that Matthew hasn't seen.
Doesn't happen very often.
Once we got out of the truck, we felt the wave of questions funneling through children's eyes. About 20 small kids rushed over and stood in silence, watching us set up. We looked at each other and came to the conclusion that we were probably the first white travelers some of these children have ever seen.
Yes, ni hao.
Ni hao.
We were now officially their main character in their TV show, and we fully embraced it. We got to swim and play football with them, and eventually hide from the rain, which obviously they didn't care about. We wake to the sounds of the town gobbler and wave goodbye to our new little friends. The amount of joy emanating from these villages could push away any rain cloud if you asked it to.
Maybe we'll be a talking point in the school today.
Yeah, like, so those were gringos, everyone.
Hey, no, gringos are Americanos. We're
what
Canadians.
Those were Canadians.
Yeah, we're basically Vikings.
Yeah, they'll be holding up a thing of maple syrup. This is what
Yeah.
they like.
Hopefully they'll just like point out on a map or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was
It was good.
pretty interesting.
The long dirt road out brings reflection, questions, and wanting more. Thankfully, our next camp isn't too far, and we cross the street to another amazing river spot.
This is the actual campsite. Hopefully we can get a little bit of respite here from exhausted last few days. Hola!
Good. Oh, we got a pool and a river. There's like tables and stuff.
Oh wow, we get all this to ourselves?
Central America in the summer months indeed brings many challenges. Heat, crazy bugs, and intense rain are only a few. Roads wash out, and there are few travelers to meet. Yet if you're willing to embrace discomfort, the beauty the rain brings is unmatched. It's at this camp we're able to catch some rest and plan our next moves.
After 2 steps, I lost my balance. And you know, that's when the colors started to change.
Very well. Last night you saw the storm, and you guys remember the color river was before.
No más azul on el rio.
Yeah, it's Brown River. People warned us about this.
We messaged the lady at the place where we're trying to find. She said, you need a 4x4. We're like, okay, good, we got that. Yeah, right now we're just navigating through some sugarcane fields and villages. Anyway, if we can actually navigate our way there, she said, don't follow GPS or Google Maps because it's wrong, it'll lead you the wrong way. So she gave us a bunch of waypoints in Spanish, and we're on a scavenger hunt.
It's funny how many parts of traveling on the road can become routine, like a recipe passed down from generations. While many of the main ingredients stay the same, like when we wake up or filling up the truck with gas, it's really the gifts given by nature or the new faces that make the recipe our own. So far, this ingredients list is at least 3 pages. Following the Sharpie-marked pins that our friend Juan laid out on our map, we're witnessing Guatemala from a local perspective. This means less time on the highways, fewer stops in big cities, more strange looks at the Chinook, and an overload of speechless moments. We recognize the usual tokens such as chickens running around as pets, flowers hanging over the tiny streets so beautiful you'd assume they're planted. We notice ladies doing laundry while they keep an eye on their kids, and we catch a glimpse of older women sitting in circles, weaving something and sharing contagious smiles. This remote village tour is leading us through an incredible nature reserve. There isn't any fear as we drive through these villages anymore. We've fallen comfortably into the life of the unknown and believe that's where the best stories are told. Even with 2 hours of off-road driving to get here, we're still shocked that we're the only travelers. It seems being this remote has kept this place sacred, and we've come to appreciate that.
Wow.
That's cool.
Mucho nacho, rostedazo.
So we were told this place is super magical. It's got a bunch of different things you can see, but we actually didn't look ahead, so we are going to be just as surprised as you.
Yes. Spiky that is.
This place is a vibrant reminder that there are so many jewels hidden for those willing to adventure.
Pretty high on our waterfall scale.
Yeah.
It's got that like intimacy factor of like just like in a little pocket of awesome.
Yeah, when you're swimming, you look up and you're just like, the walls are so high above you. It's really stunning. And
Yeah.
the water feels amazing.
The water's cold and fresh and like so clear. It almost feels glacial, which is crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
¿Cómo se dice? Cangrejo. Cangrejo? Ajá, cangrejo.
Mom, if you're watching this, they serve their sandwiches with chips too.
If we're gonna pay for camping, it better have amenities like this. Leaving a place so abundant and mentally cleansing is hard. And on the drive out, we no longer curse the bad road in. We're happy that this pocket of paradise has to be earned.
Gobble, gobble.
Okay, so this is our friend for the day. We have been purchasing little packs of dog food
It's little snacks
for cute little guys.
that probably don't get enough snacks.
Yeah.
Sorry, you don't get a bowl. We didn't bring a bowl.
Yeah, they get fed on the ground, but I mean.
I'm sure you've eaten more dirt than you like, right?
Yeah.
I probably could have picked a bit of a better spot.
When most people talk about Guatemala, the conversation of coffee usually comes up. And as coffee is part of our current religion, we're keen to steer away from our usual grocery roulette purchases. We are, however, a little worried that we may long for Guatemalan coffee the way we long for Mexican tacos.
Oh wow, is this like a 70 series thing? This is the part of the show. This is the part of the show that you guys don't normally get to see. Is how many times I go just to try and get the damn rig flat. Man, I just want airbags on all four corners, so it wouldn't matter.
He did it.
Stacy also has a very strong desire to always be in getaway position facing out, which I totally understand. But when we're at like a paid site,
You can blame X Overland, okay?
yeah.
For me wanting
Thanks,
to have...
Clay.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we have the honey process.
All right, well, this is the best coffee I've ever had. Traveling overland through places like this is expanding our perspective on what it means to live a good life, and that's exactly what we wanted it to do.
I think this morning it was really good. The coffee was good, but I'd say the conversation was better.
The seed was planted. Yet little did we know, this wasn't going to be the last coffee experience to steal our hearts. While scrolling our eyes over Google Maps, we spotted something in the topography that we just couldn't ignore. Something so interesting, I could have convinced myself it was another country. But it certainly wasn't what I expected to find in a country in Central America.
Pretty good spot for lunch, eh?
One of the best.
I have a road to add to dangerousroads.org. You guys see this? It's not even on our maps. It's like so remote, it's not even, doesn't even exist apart from the people that live right there.
Roads like this are the adrenaline rush of views and heads-up driving that we won't soon forget. This place holds part of the saddest history of Guatemala, where thousands of people were murdered for criminal development of this dam. Families displaced for progress. recently as of 2015, the first compensation checks were given to the Mayan families. It's part of the reconciliation and healing of the country. And I hope it continues, because it's strikingly beautiful here.
Here we thought logging in BC was steep.
Now deep in thought, we sought camp before heading west across the country.
I just want to throw that out there too for weekenders or people, who don't have massive amounts of solar to resupply their batteries.
The roads here reveal a vastness that we never would have expected for a comparatively small country. It seems no terrain will hold the Guatemalans back from farming some of the most incredible things that you can drink and eat.
Guatemala is pretty.
Pretty good, but I think certain things because her recipe is very, very old school, 1950s, stuck in the look like tradition, and then I cooked it for her again, like.
Just off the side of the highway on our route, there is a steep descent down to the river. One of those trails that just begs to be driven. Rather than set up camp in the rain, we pressed on. We had a lot of ground to cover before our next dot on the map.
So I just went to the fruit stand to get a mango, and they also had coconut. And then she asked me if I wanted toppings. And I said, yeah. So she put brown sugar, lime, and whatever the picante one is. So I'm really excited.
Oh my god, those look so good.
Yeah.
We're feeling that Guatemala has so much more than meets the eye or the Instagram post. Even amidst the traffic of busy farmers, Mayan villages, and cobbled streets, we feel welcome. While the circumstances of many are far different than our norm, many people have risen above this and found a way to thrive, just as the fauna does.
And some of the members of the band didn't leave during the entire, 6 weeks or 2 months.
last night was pretty glamorous. It's a pretty sweet parking lot.
Yeah, we have a nice view of the church, though.
Yeah, it's true.
This is a really pretty area. You should roll down your window.
Let's roll down the window for the peeps.
Since our camp was less than memorable, we decided to head to a mirador only 18 kilometers away to have coffee. It shouldn't take long, right? Right?
Well, I wasn't expecting an off-road route for coffee. Here we are. Oh yeah, okay, up we go.
Yeah, keep going up.
Yeah.
Because we weren't high enough.
No. That's what happens when you listen to Google Maps.
Yeah.
Last shot was really good.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was fun.
That's great.
It was really cool.
We are at what the people see. We are just over, almost at 2,600 meters. And the truck's staying cool. How about that, boys?
How about that? Everyone check your fan clutch.
What? I don't even feel like I'm in Central America anymore. I'm in Guatemala.
So cool that there's just houses here.
Nice houses.
Beautiful houses. Great choice of color on the paint. Oh, and this guy too. What's up? There's always a van.
Yeah. It's the taxi. Hey guys, I'm gonna do something a little crazy. Don't judge me. But I'm actually gonna put on a sweater. It's the first time this sweater has been out of its spot. Like months ago. Okay. Wow.
All right.
Guatemala. Full of surprises. Can you see down there? It's so cool on that ridge.
We're running out of descriptive adjectives to describe the landscapes here. But this unrelenting climb before breakfast and coffee led to some incredible views. We're grateful for the detour.
Google Maps has been a bit of a fibber today.
Where we're driving.
That's the road.
That. Thanks, Google Maps.
Yeah.
You're a pro.
How it even thought.
Oh, got some workers.
We are 2987, just shy of 3,000 meters.
All this time we've been looking for a specific lookout or mirador. And while we didn't take the highway, we ended up getting far more incredible views than even the viewpoint has to offer. It's the typical narrative of the journey is worth more than the destination.
Yeah. car 20 minutes faster. Google Maps are. It's actually about 3 hours.
3 hours. We were supposed to arrive at 8:20, and it is 11 o'clock.
Restart?
Yeah, let's do it.
I've been drinking.
Yeah.
$3,100 meters.
Now we go down.
Now we go down. No, puppy. No. Ducking into a quiet campground to get some work done. We've driven over 20,000 kilometers from home, and with all the off-roading recently, our truck was about to give us one of the worst kind of surprises. What a rig. I want one. It's like a motorcycle truck with a cabana roof. And I need that thing back on Vancouver Island.
Stay tuned for our next build.
Yeah, man, I could be selling coconuts out of that thing all summer long. So what are you thinking of Guatemala so far? Is it what you expected? It's certainly not for us. But if you're enjoying this inside look, I'd invite you to hit that like button and subscribe if you aren't already. It really does help us out. If you haven't picked up on it yet, Guatemala is the land of cool Toyotas.
Oh, I got two.
What we learned, however, is many of these old trucks come from the USA to be restored here. There's a speck of rust on it. That is an awesome bus. Wow. There's a bunch of them. They're all mint. And they're not cheap either. But wow, they are nice to look at. And for a hoarder like me, we're already scheming up ways that we can cram a bunch of these into a container to send home.
You know, like at the favorite, I loved how he fought for the people, and I loved how he did the right things, and he was a real...
5 countries and we finally found it. Remember that surprise from the truck I was talking about? It was now revealing itself. Yes, the metallic clicking noise is what I'm talking about, and it is exactly the opposite of what you want to hear from under your truck. This was going to need some attention, ASAP. Pretty sweet camp last night.
Yep. See, these are the camps that make you really appreciate wild camping.
You need to be in the city. Sometimes this is what you get.
That's okay.
You get to check out some sweet Land Cruisers. Don't worry, I already asked if it was for sale and he said no. Guatemala's diverse landscapes give way to their dominant agricultural farms. These areas make up almost 50% of the country, and most travelers, including us, would miss experiencing these places if it wasn't for people like our friend Juan Carlos. And since you're here as well, you can come with us on this deep dive into the veins of this country. Starting with the beverage that we fill our veins with every morning. We call ourselves coffee snobs very loosely, because our knowledge comes only from our taste buds blended with the retail price on the shelf. If you asked us to describe a coffee plant before today, it would be a pretty short sentence. We're going to get a chance to appreciate not only where the coffee comes from, but the work that's involved in bringing it to our cup. Finding out about his other farms would only expand our curiosity further. Look at the size of that tree.
Look at the size of that gun. It's an insane amount of coffee. What a beautiful drive in. Oh my gosh.
How was the
You eat them?
Yeah. Not eat them, but you can taste them.
Oh, it's sweet. Wow.
Yeah.
Juan's family and business partners have been growing coffee on this land since 1872. We got to learn about the entire process of what it takes to really bring a coffee plant into the hands of the consumer. All of these plants get hand-picked. It's amazing to see not only the process that's involved, but the people who are behind it.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's like 16,000 plants in this area. Wow. This is just like the first year they're gonna give something, and then next year is gonna be a lot more.
Cool.
Hopefully.
So cool. Yum. I like fried plantain.
This farm is also diversified with different crops. At our next stop, we'll get to see really how far this diversification goes. So these are all the cardamom seeds. Mm-hmm. You come and pick them. Now that we're all familiar with what goes in our cup every morning, it was time for an adventure that would take us into knowing what's under our truck as we drive every day. As far as unexpected encounters, this list is expanding.
I feel like I'm on a safari following a defender.
We just need the rivals and the lions.
Man, this is awesome.
This is the rubber and the cattle on one side.
These are the rubber trees on the left?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, we'll walk around and I'll show you before lunch or after lunch.
Really cool. So that's a cacao fruit.
Yeah. Wow. Then this is the.
Oh, that's so cool.
Taste it.
Mmm. That's so good.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Chew on that. It'll be like bitter sweet, and that's where chocolate.
Oh yeah, now I'm tasting that one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Test it to drip this way,
Wow.
and then you collect this.
How long does it take for that to fill up when it's fresh?
It doesn't have to fill up. It's just like if it drips for 4 or 5 hours, whatever it drops, that's what we collect.
Okay. That's so cool. So how much to make a tire?
Yeah. That's what we're wondering.
Yeah, I guess
One of your tires?
One of our tires is about a lot longer.
Animals like me.
Our farm hopping tour always seems to come with a food pit stop, and we must admit that these home-cooked meals we've experienced in Guatemala won't be soon forgotten. So in one day we've learned where coffee, chocolate, and rubber comes from. What could possibly be next?
Make sure we can follow. All right, we have a new guide. And he's in a 85 extended cab. Sweet.
When we find out Juan's next planned excursion for us lays in the sauna of the Pacific coast, a sneaky drop of sweat reaches from under our pores. Who knew trauma from humidity would affect us so much? It's a good thing we trust our truck and our tires, because we wouldn't be walking any of these mud pits before we cross them. We just gotta follow this little Toyota pickup through the palm trees. We're approaching the edge of the largest mangrove reserve in Central America. The humidity here is off the charts. It makes us feel like we're in some sort of sweating experiment. Preparing for whatever experience lay ahead tomorrow involved not much sleep and praying for rain that never came.
Good morning from the edge of the largest mangrove reserve in Central America. Stacy and I have been gifted by Juan, of course, an epic tour that will commence now. And we follow this guy into the bush.
Some acts of nature may remind you of a photo you've seen, or a place you've been. Some, however, are so incredibly different from anything you've experienced that you're left speechless, hoping someone will explain everything. This mangrove will make you question everything you know about a forest. How our guide knows where to turn and when to turn is still a mystery to us. And the deafening hum of the bugs only seems to get louder and echoes more. Something interesting we learned about mangroves is that they can store up to 10 times more CO2 than a mature tropical forest. This means that they're a huge help to our atmosphere.
What do you think of this place?
And it feels very wild.
enjoying this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you aren't already. It's free and it really does help us out. Being welcomed like family when you're so far from home is one of the best experiences to have as a traveler.
So different, but I like it.
Our lunch today would be fresh caught shrimp, tomatoes, French fries, and tortillas.
I feel so blessed.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget some hot sauce. And maybe a fresh coconut.
Delicious.
It's all over your face. It's so refreshing seeing new things.
Yeah. I feel so grateful and, well, privileged to want and have this experience that a lot of people wouldn't. But I'll let you know if we can send you the deets on this location.
Back through the mud to escape the brutal humidity, I think the Chinook gained a couple extra few cylinders as we crushed out a 2-hour drive back into the mountains. Camping with a cool breeze between volcanoes on grassy hills seems like a pretty rad way to finish out the day, I'd say. Might even get to put on a sweater.
How's that for a nice classic looking meal?
Yeah. Wow. Chicken, broccoli, Idahoan potatoes.
The view changed a bit. Forecast today, minimal visibility, cloud.
Life can get hectic sometimes, especially when you're living on the road in your 4x4 truck. So when you find places with this much peace and quiet, you stay an extra night. Feeling rejuvenated, our motivation was about to take us up one of these surrounding volcanoes. Apparently, there's something in the top of it that we really should see. Whether we'll be able to actually see it or not is going to be up to the weather.
Sunday stays there. We go into the cloud. I didn't expect that we were going to be walking up a road.
No. Man, it would be rad to have the Chinook up here, but our legs needed it.
You might luck out and actually get a view and be above the clouds.
Yeah, the clouds are moving really quick.
Formed in the crater of the Tikal volcano, this lake is sacred to the Mayan people. And while we'd love to swim in it, it's awesome to see places like this protected.
Easy, you just walked up there.
Alright, Fortuner.
Yeah. The Toyota Fortuner.
Interested.
Our next overland vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I like the sound of that diesel.
In most of our travel plans, we seek out places that are not popular for tourism. There are some locations, however, like a good cliché, that are popular for good reason. And this next spot is absolutely one of them. Surrounded by massive, active volcanoes, this is Lake Atitlan. It is often referred to in blogs as the most beautiful lake in the world, and here it's referred to as the land of eternal spring for its amazing weather. There are 12 villages that surround the lake, and 22 distinct and different languages spoken by the indigenous people. After camping at the viewpoint, we're hoping to set up tonight on the lakefront, which is still at 5,200 feet above sea level. And lucky for us, we even had some friends waiting.
Missed a little bit of the rainy season.
Definitely want more, Stacy.
Okay, well this is this.
Is that what we're trying to do?
Yeah, this beer flight is brought to you by Maple Leaf Drifters. So shout out to Hugh and Sue.
Woo! Oh, I'm so excited. All right, so this is the IPA. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it kind of tastes more like cardamom and clove.
Oh my
and
gosh,
a little bit of bubble gum.
And vanilla?
Mm-hmm.
It's
No,
really
it's a
good.
really, really good beer.
Yeah.
This is Dale Pale Ale.
I'd say this is a sessionable pale ale, for sure.
There you go, folks. You heard it here first. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, it's like beer and like chocolate Coca-Cola had a baby.
Popular for good reason, am I right? Saying goodbye to our family on the road, we had one more night with the volcanoes before we had to deal with the much needed maintenance that's required of our Land Cruiser Chinook so it can continue this expedition to Argentina. Find a lot of unexpected things if you drive through Central America. And today, that one was a river crossing in between sections of perfectly paved highway.
Okay, boys and girls, we are at a very cool place, about to do some very cool things. First, we got to find out. We just drove 20,000 kilometers to Guatemala in the truck we built in 100 days. Well, broke.
Judging by the chosen vehicles at this place, I think we've come to the right one. Step one is to determine the whereabouts of a leak in the front of our axle.
This is full of diff oil, which means that the seal is broken, so the oil from the diff is coming out into the hub, which means that it's probably coming out into the bearings as well.
Thankfully, our wheel bearings are still in good shape, but we're definitely going to need a new inner axle seal. If you want a more behind-the-scenes look at the mechanics that we have to do and the details of the parts that we had to replace here, You can join us on Patreon. We post updates and really get into the inner workings of what it's like living on the road.
We're expecting it to be like cut.
Yeah, it's in one part.
But yeah, or like bent or something. It's really, really weird. Grand hammer wins. This is a broken bushing. You can see. See how off-center it is? This is supposed to be in the middle. This one's not broken, but we figure it's probably not long behind this one, so we're replacing both. Well, we could put it there.
Hey.
We also diagnosed the metallic pinging from our last episode to be the rear U-joint. Overall, after 20,000 kilometers of not easy driving, the truck is looking really good. This is an old chassis and an even older motorhome on top of it. An axle seal, a suspension bushing, a U-joint, new diff fluid, thorough bolt check, a fuel gauge, and we're looking really good.
Got our new radius arm bushings in. And a little more clearance. Something interesting you guys should know is that this place here is soon going to be an overlander oasis. He's got plans to build a big communal space, and it's a perfect location to see Antigua, to climb the volcanoes. It's just a great stop if you're coming through Guatemala, and you know, the guys here are awesome. You'll be in good company. So there'll be more news on that. Stay tuned. We might be helping them put up some social media things. We're not sure yet, but this will soon be a spot on iOverlander that you can come stay at, and maybe even work on your Toyota or Jeep as well. Our blessings come in, I don't know, shipping container sizes?
Yes, they do.
It's amazing. Those guys, not only were they just like super experts on Toyotas, but I just couldn't believe how, man.
Generosity. I keep writing about it. It's kindness found in the most unexpected places.
Yeah. The truck feels, even just going slow, it feels like quieter and more smooth already.
Right, because we're driving without the sway bar. This is the first time driving without the sway bar.
We've got no sway bar, and we've got fresh diff oil. That's probably the correct diff oil, and we got the new U-joints, and yeah, new suspension bushings.
A fuel gauge that is telling us we need gas.
Hey, it's working though. That's awesome. We got a quarter tank. I feel like we're in a mini castle.
Yeah.
Or like the knight's quarters of a castle. We're in like the little quarter house.
Yeah, or just like the princess's room.
Yeah, it's rad. I really feel like, I don't know, it was just like back in time or something. Like I've never stayed in a place that had slate stone floor.
Yeah, really well insulated.
Rad.
This is Antigua, a beautiful, historic colonial town that makes us want to enter every door and eat in every restaurant. It's a place that we really wish we had more time, but our plans are extending further into the unknown as we're about to experience one of the most incredible four-wheel drive routes that we've ever seen.
You know how I know it's going to be a good day?
When 5 of the sickest Land Cruisers in Guatemala are ready to drive up an active volcano.
Yes, you heard that right, folks, and it's no word of a lie. If there was an epic send-off for leaving Guatemala, this would be it.
Oh, I didn't think our first obstacle would be
the traffic.
The traffic in Guatemala City.
This is crazy.
The place that we just got our mechanics done also restored this beautiful FJ45 Land Cruiser. They're also responsible for outfitting this 79 series fully Australian spec. So if you're in Guatemala, this is definitely a place that you're going to want to check out. We're totally biased, but this is a pretty cool lineup of trucks. So given the chance, which one are you taking home? Let us know in the comments. Canada is not known for its volcanoes, active or otherwise. This part of the world is absolutely known for it. And driving this close with this set of trucks feels like it should be a Toyota commercial, am I right? Toyota, are you listening? Let's go places.
I was found here. You come around here.
After our recent upgrades and maintenance, the Chinook is feeling right at home. For over an hour, we navigated our trucks in 4-low over sharp volcanic rock around the southeastern section of the Tikal volcano. We are completely at the mercy of Mother Nature right now. It's a feeling of equal empowerment and powerlessness. And in between some of the rocks, we can see remnants of people cooking food during a lava flow. It's pretty crazy to think about this molten rock coming from the center of the earth. What do you take away from traveling? Do you snap a photo, put your phone back in your pocket and forget? What memories sit front row in your mind when you speak of those places? What an incredible feeling to carry with us memories so rich, we simply couldn't free them from our minds if we tried. I think the only words we have left for Guatemala are thank you.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're leaving.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's not goodbye, it's see you later. See you later. See you later.